Story at 5, it's something you don't think is possible when it comes to an election. Some Milwaukee County wards reported voter turnout greater than 115%.
And that led to people, including Senate candidate Eric Hovde, questioning the security of this election. Our Jason Calvi has been digging into the numbers and visiting the sites to get the truth here.
Hey, Sam. Yeah, we crunched the numbers on Milwaukee County's more than 500 wards. Countywide turnout was almost 89%. But the county's unofficial election night results showed 25 wards with 100% or greater. It also showed one place topping 200%. Republican Senate candidate Eric Hovde has not yet conceded, and he says there were, quote, voting inconsistencies.
Certain voting precincts in Milwaukee having turnout of over 150% of registered voters, and in some cases over 200%.
In fact, the unofficial Milwaukee County results did show Wauwatosa Ward 8B had voter turnout of 249%. Turns out the county flipped the registered voters with Ward 8A, a mistake that did not impact the vote totals. And the county says it flipped registered vote numbers in Franklin. Ward 14, it initially showed turnout of 183%.
Total ballots cast and total registered voters in the city remained the same.
But what about Milwaukee Ward 335? It hit 148% voter turnout, and Ward 187 topped 118%. Both are inside Marquette's campus.
I think this was a pretty important election for everybody.
Parker Gugala lives at Marquette and saw the large turnout as he waited in line an hour just to register.
I think a lot of the social media has been going crazy covering the election, so kids are seeing that and then they're wanting to put their own voice out there.
And they waited till election day to do it.
Yeah.
Milwaukee's Ward 186 had 126% turnout. It includes more Marquette housing. Ward 126 had 115% turnout. It's the UW Milwaukee campus. And then there's the City Ward 158 with 105% turnout. That's MSOE.
Voters are being inactivated as they move. And so going into Election Day, we had very accurate poll lists. And then on Election Day, anyone who had moved and hadn't updated their registration, you frequently see it around campuses like UWM and Marquette with dorms. Those voters are going to register on Election Day.
So how can the voter turnout be higher than 100%? The numbers come from registered voters before polls open. And Wisconsin law allows people to register to vote on Election Day.
This is completely normal. It happens every year. Anyone who pays attention to elections in Wisconsin knows this.
Marquette Lubar researcher John Johnson says trends were repeated across the state.
Hovde did a little bit worse than Trump just about everywhere, with the exception of the WOW counties.
When all the votes were counted, Wisconsin elected a Republican for president and a Democrat for U.S. Senate. Now, another issue Eric Hovde brings up is the third-party candidates that won 71,000 votes in Wisconsin, more than the difference between Hovde and Baldwin. The AP reported Democrats did recruit one of those candidates who ran with the party name America First. That man, Thomas Leager, says he was lied to as he was recruited. Sam, Kim?
So one more thing that we've heard both from Hovde and from national conservatives is kind of something that we always hear in Milwaukee, that late night dump, that they look to it as fraud. I was there. Yeah. You've been involved in this process. What have you learned about that?
Yeah, you were there. And one of the things that was interesting at the night of the election is Eric Hovde had a 68,000-point lead going into midnight. And we knew going in, we reported on air, that a lot of those votes in Milwaukee County, 108,000 absentee ballots needed to be counted. The city cannot report those absentee ballots until all of them are counted. It's a Democratic stronghold. It's a city that votes 78% Democratic. And again, Republican number crunchers were telling me there's not enough lead there for Eric Hovde to survive the numbers that are going to be reported when they can finally be reported when all those absentee ballots are counted in the city of Milwaukee.
So the initial were the in-person voting on that day.
Right.
So that's where he had the huge lead. But when the absentee were processed, that's the difference.
And it was 108,000 votes in absentee votes in Milwaukee. So those took a long time to open up. You have to open all the envelopes up, check the signatures, and then put them through the machines. It takes a lot of time.
And you saw the election watchers there, too.
It's meticulous. It sure is. Jason, thanks.